Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever it is, hello. Okay, so there's two reasons I'm doing this video today. First reason is to try out this microphone, see how you're picking my voice up and stuff. And the second reason is I want to talk a bit about why I sold my GSXR 600 2011. So I'll start with the reasons I bought the bike to start with, the GSXR. I bought the GSXR in September 2011, brand new from the dealership. I had an idea what I wanted. It was a toss-up between the Suzuki GSXR 600, which I got, and the Honda CBR 600 RR and the Kawasaki ZX6. A mate of mine works in a bike shop. I asked his advice and he said the best one to go for is the GSXR 600. So I test rode all of them and went for that in the end. I had it for just over a year and then decided to sell it. The reasons for me selling it were as follows. So, when I buy a motorbike, brand new, second hand, whatever, two things I do straight away if I can. First one is take the mirrors off. I don't like mirrors, I don't like riding with mirrors, so I take them off straight away. And also indicators, I take indicators off as soon as I can, if I can. A couple of reasons for that is one, I think they might make the bike look ugly, indicators and mirrors. And the second one with the indicators is, it's so easy to leave the indicators on, flashing away, and you can quite easily have somebody pull out on you because you've left your indicator on, and really it is down to you, it is your fault. So that's why I take the indicators off, and I'm ended up, when I do run them, I end up constantly riding along doing this, pushing the button to make sure they're cancelled all the time. I tried, because the rear indicators are moulded into the fairing on the GSXR, so I couldn't just take them off. So what I've done, obviously the other thing I want to do is get rid of the mirrors, and on the front of the bike, the mirrors are integrated with the indicators. A couple of bikers there, hello. Yeah, so I bought myself some little indicators to replace where the mirrors went. To do that, to fit them, you've got to take the whole fairing off, whole top fairing, and fuck me, what a fucking mission, just to take that top fairing off. I can understand why they do this, but they're using, instead of screws now, they're using these tiny little plastic rivet things, and I understand they do it for weight and to cut down, and I'm all for that. If you've seen the other videos on this bike, I've done everything I can to get rid of weight on this bike, but you take one out and it snaps, and it just pisses me off. It really fucking pisses me off. The money you pay for those bikes is just, it's not a lot in comparison. Compared to a car. If you wanted to get that performance out of a car, you'd end up spending shitloads of money. What frustrates me about them, the point I'm trying to get to, is that I think personally it's over-engineered. New bikes are over-engineered. There's too much going on. There's sensors everywhere, you know, and if something goes wrong with it, you can't fix it yourself. You have to take it to a mainstream dealer for them to plug it into their laptop, to then tell you something's fucked up with the ECU or whatever. You just can't fix it yourself, and it frustrates me. For somebody like myself, and I'm sure I'm not just speaking for myself, I like to do all the work on my bike myself, but with that bike, you can't do fuck all. But like I say, to put their indicators on And I'm quite clued up with bikes. I'm not being big-headed, but I'm quite clued up. I've been working on bikes for a long time, and it took so long to take that front fairing off, to work out where everything was to actually take it off. The under tray, you have to take all the fucking little rivets out from the under tray. The front light has to come off, the screen has to come off, the mirrors have to come off. You have to undo the side fairings, as in the fairings that are down here on a sports bike. You have to undo them to get the top fairing off. It's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. On the GSXR, it's got all sorts of shit. Lap timers, which is great. I think that's a brilliant little thing to have, a lap timer. It's great, especially if you're into track days. But it's also got, like, if something goes wrong with the bike, it will come up F1, which basically means fault 1. But what's that telling you? It's just telling you your bike's fucked. You need to go to a dealership and spend shitloads of money to get it fixed. Don't get me wrong, the speed of the GSXR was great. It was so quick, and I loved that. That's enough to make any man wet himself, is the speed of a sports bike. Frustration of trying to work on it myself was just too much, and that's why I sold it in the end. Just for that reason. Also, another reason I sold it was basically I was going to end up losing my license on it, because it's so easy to sit at a fast speed. If you're sitting on a motorway, obviously you should be sitting at 70 mile an hour. Before you know it, you look down and you're doing over the speed limit. And basically coppers, and this ain't a pop at all, coppers, don't get me wrong, coppers, if they've got nothing better to do, they're going to nick you, pure and simple. And you do get the odd good copper and would understand where you're coming from, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to end up landing yourself a ticket, or if not a ban. And that's just the way I could see it going for me. I could see that I was going to end up losing my licence eventually if I stick with that bike, so I sold it, got rid of it. And then once I did sell it, I thought, about 2 or 3 days later, I thought, oh fuck, have I made the wrong choice here? I missed it straight away. My plan was to sell it and get another Supermoto, and the one I'm riding at the moment was going to be my track bike. I'm not going to go too into that, just take a look through my other videos and you'll see I explain in there the plans for this bike and also what's happened with it now, i.e. me riding it now. I will just, actually, why I'm here, why it's a bit quiet, right, okay, so just back to the GSXR briefly. If I wanted to change a bulb, yeah, a light bulb, side light or main beam, whatever, I'd have to take the whole fairing off, right? You're looking at, once you've done it once, you know what comes out where. You're looking at an hour, at least. Okay, right, so, I'm going to change the side light bulb, yeah? Right, so on this, I'm going to change the side light bulb. Right, I just pulled it out. Oh, there you go. What, 10 seconds? There's your side light bulb there, look. Bang. Straight away. It's there. Not going to happen on a sports bike. Just takes too long. And it's things like that that were pissing me off about it. Yeah, back to the Supermoto. This bike that I'm riding right now, CCM R30, I paid for a brand new. I bought this bike when I was 21, for my 21st birthday. Good morning! I bought it, brand new, 10 years old now this bike. Just coming up 10 years old, or just over 10 years old, can't remember exactly. And I've had a few bikes, other sports bikes, this, that and the other, since I bought this, as well as this. And I would never, ever, ever, ever sell this bike. Not a chance. I'd rather give my left bollock, in fact I'd rather give both bollocks and get rid of this bike. I've spent a lot of money on it since I've had it. It's a 650, 644cc engine when you buy them. I spent a bit of money on the engine. I've had a 710 bore kit put on it, so it's now a 710cc instead of a 650. And I just love it. I got it MOT the other day, this bike, and this is when I was kind of in the stage of thinking, shit, have I made the right choice selling the XL? I was coming back from the MOT station, and just, roads in England are shit, that's a fact. Pay our taxes, and they do fuck all with the roads, but that's a different topic. Don't even get me started with that, because it pisses me right off. So I'm hitting potholes like this one here, look. Oh yeah, pothole. Oh, and there's another one there. But on this, you hit a pothole and it just goes ba-bum, and it's just nothing. It just soaks up the road. Just so easy. It's just... Whereas on a sports bike, if you're going around a corner and you hit a pothole, you've got to take a base of action. Like a pothole there, look. That was quite big, and it's just like a little ba-bum. Don't get me wrong, I don't ride around aiming for potholes. I try to avoid them. But if you are coming around a corner on a road you don't know and there is a pothole there, it can be dangerous, you know. If you're going around and you're going, I've got to choose my words carefully here. You're having fun, yeah, I'll say you're having fun, right? And you come up to a corner, you're going around the corner, there's a great pothole in the middle of the road. You either got to sit the bike up to try and brake, turn it in more to try and get around the inside of it, or sit the bike up and try and go around the outside of it, and that can be dangerous, you know. But it's on this bike, I'm not saying it's going to not unsettle you, because it is to a point. It is going to unsettle you slightly, but you've got a lot more chance of getting away with it, like, and that's just a fact. And another thing I love about the Supermotos is the speed you can have your fun at. You don't have to be ragging the shit out of this bike to get the fun out of it. It's just a great fun bike to... You can take it down a little lane that's got a bit of shit on the road, you know, a bit of mud where it's been raining and that, and it's great fun. But you can't do that on a sports bike. You just can't. Like, for me personally, and I'm not trying to upset anyone, because I know there's a lot of people that like sports bikes. I like sports bikes. I don't dislike them. I love the look of a sports bike. But riding, for me, personally, how I like to ride a bike is Supermoto style all the way for me, personally. So, it is just my opinion. So like I say, I'm not trying to upset anyone. It is just my opinion on how I like to ride a bike. And like I say, I do love the sports bikes. I follow the MotoGP. I love British superbikes. I love world superbikes. I love any type of bike. Oh, hello. What's going on here? A few bikers out today. Good day to you all. Good day. I should have gone up there. What the fuck am I doing? I'm rambling shit. And that's green, mate. That means you go. Yeah, green means go, and red means stop. A few bikes out today. It's quite good to see. I think it's because the Thruxton British Superbikes is on today, and it's only about 5 miles from here. So I'm guessing there's a few bikes out for the Thruxton BSB today. I would like to have gone today, but basically I've spent too much money on this bike. But I was at the opening round at Brands Hatch, which was last weekend, so I have had my BSB fix, and what a great weekend that was. Went with my wife and a few friends and their girlfriends, and yeah, it's a wicked day out. It's really good. If you're somebody who's thinking about getting a bike, all different people are going to tell you different things. Some people are going to say, oh, you don't want a Supermoto, oh, they're shit, you know, you can't go on the motorway with them, you'll catch the wind and all that. Fair point, yeah, they are pretty shit on the motorway. But if you're a new rider or thinking about getting a bike, go for a Supermoto. It's a much easier position to ride in. If something does go wrong, if you lose the front end, the back end, depending on how you ride Supermoto, some people ride it kind of motocross style with the legs sticking out, other people don't. Personally, I Don't always do it, but if I'm having a bit of fun, I'll stick my foot out when I'm going around corners. And if something goes wrong, push your heel of your foot into the floor and it will pick the bike straight back up. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you're on a sports bike and that happens, I'm not saying you can't save it, because you can. I've done it myself, but you've got more chance of saving it if you're on a Supermoto. If you crash, it will just slide on the bungs, and it does that on a sports bike as well, like I say, but you're still going to fuck things up, you're still going to mess things up. And exhausts, things like that, they're not cheap for any bike that you buy if you want a race exhaust. Oh, fucking hell, false neutral. Yeah, they're not cheap for any bike that you buy. But you can get crash protectors for the exhaust as well. I definitely recommend forking out just that little bit of money, and they're not cheap, the crash bungs, really. If you don't earn a lot of money, like myself, I don't earn a lot of money, but it's worth it. You're going to end up saving money if you're going to crash, and if you're going to do track days like myself, you're going to crash. It's just, that is part of being a biker, I'm afraid. You are going to crash at some point. As much as you hate it, you are going to crash. I'm not saying everyone, but there is a pretty high chance that you are going to crash. So I'm going to end this video now. Hope the microphone's worked out okay. I hope you can hear me alright. If not, I'll be doing it again, I suppose. Have a good weekend, and I will catch you all soon. I'll speak to you later, guys. Take care.